Oh, there we go. I was about to turn this on and start it on my phone, but it looks like we're going now. So welcome everyone. Welcome everybody joining on the replay. We're going to wait for room to fill up a little bit, see who is here. This is rather early in my morning time for a live stream, but I wanted to check in with all of you guys and just go live. It just felt like the move today. So happy Halloween for those who celebrate. I am, as you can tell, dressing up a little bit, just having a little bit of fun here. I think it can be a really fun holiday. Any holiday can be fun if we take what we like and leave the rest. And so, as I think I said on the live stream or the weekly reading or something recently, I was talking about the energy of like, there's a light and a dark, there's a polarity, there's a duality to everything, right? So there is a dark energy and a light energy to Halloween, and the ways that this energy is used, the way that this battery, if you so to speak, is utilized. And so I consent to only the positive. I do not consent to any nefarious energies, any black magic, dark sorcery, any of that. I'm just having fun. I'm just having a good time. That's what I've been learning to do in general lately is as we're navigating this inverted matrix, right? Is to take what I like and leave the rest, right? I know what I'm consenting to. I know what I'm not consenting to. I state that very clearly and unequivocally. And then I just enjoy my life to a certain extent, right? Which I think is kind of the point of why we're here, right? There's a lot of intense stuff that we're doing here, right? We have a lot of powerful mission work. But at the same time, one of our most important missions is to find joy, to find bliss, to express the beauty of our souls, and to really enjoy this human incarnation and all it has to offer. Because the offerings that this three-dimensional incarnation and existence has to offer us, we don't get everywhere else. There are certain things and certain types of experiences and expressions of our soul energy that we can only express here. And so have fun with that. Enjoy that in today and every day. Hello, Vita. Welcome, beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I should break out some of my wigs more often because I have a lot of wigs. I really enjoy them. They are super fun. I was thinking as I was getting ready this morning that I have more wigs than Lil Kim, and I started laughing, and then I realized how much that was dating me, just because of there's so many people that don't, the younger generations probably don't even know who Lil Kim is anymore. And I thought about it, and it was just funny to me. Like I did a throwback costume from the 90s for the Halloween party at my night job. And it was just a little funny there too, where you could see the generations that it just completely went over their heads because they were just too young for that, too young or too old of a generation or too young of a generation to really get it. And I don't know, it was an interesting experience. We'll put it that way. But then again, I've looked at the metrics. I'm forgetting what the analytics, whatever you want to call it, for my channel. Every now and then I peek at that kind of stuff. And I've noticed that I really don't have any of the younger generation. Like most of the people that watch this channel are at least 30 years old, if not, 35 and on. So I guess I just don't appeal to the younger generation, which is fine. But if you are of a younger generation and you're watching, welcome. I love you. I'm so glad that you're here as well. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about the weekly energies, and we're going to be doing the pick a pile reading. And I am going to timestamp all of this. I meant to say that right at the beginning, but whatever. I'm going to timestamp when we actually really get into talking about the astrology in earnest. And then I'm also going to timestamp, of course, where all the piles are after the live stream is finished. So that way, if somebody's joining on the replay, you'll just be able to jump right to the parts that you want to watch. Because I know sometimes we get going in different directions here. This is a powerful nexus of energy, whether you however it is that you experience, choose to celebrate, not celebrate, honor it, not honor it. Samhain is a very, very powerful energy. That veil is very, very thin today. So be aware of that. Make sure that you are shielding. Make sure that you are taking advantage of these energies if you feel called to, in the way that you feel called to take advantage of them. Connecting with our ancestors is a great way to take advantage of these energies over the next few days. Clear really into the beginning of November, because I believe it is November 1st, which is the official Day of the Dead. And that's a powerful day for connecting with the ancestors as well. Clear. So I'm really feeling this as an entire portal or gateway of energy. This entire upcoming week that we're going to be discussing, where we're really working with that thinned veil, especially when it comes to those who have crossed over. And our ancestors probably have very powerful guidance, very powerful messages for us. This is a time where ritual work and ceremony is very, very favored. And we can really tap into our roots as far as the interdimensional nature of ourselves and our ancestry, our lineage, through ceremony and ritual. So if anybody is feeling guided to do a ceremony or ritual, absolutely do so. Of course, like we said, repeating, of course, with the proper shielding. Hello, Ty. Hello, Annika. Oh, thank you. Yeah, as everyone gets on, make sure that you hop in the chat and say hello, and make sure that you also hit that like button. So really working with the ancestral magic, the ancestral energies, working with, of course, my words are starting to fail me. We're doing that thing. Give me a second, you guys. Working with the ancestral energy, working with the ceremonial magic, the ritual, if you feel guided to do so, right? Definitely, we were talking about, I think it was last week, the energy of the soul retrievals and all of this other stuff that was going on. And I'm still feeling that energy really powerfully as well. So continuing to work with that if you feel called. The lunar eclipse that we just had on the 28th in the sign of Taurus, and there's a whole live stream. I think it was a live stream we did on that I absolutely recommend people check out if you haven't yet. I believe it was in that we talked about this energy of soul retrieval and this energy. There's a powerful, and we're continuing. This is an ongoing process as we're moving through this week where we're really purifying. We're releasing, especially fears, like really deep-seated fears and generational energies, ancestral energies. This is why the ancestors, the connection with them is so powerful and so recommended this week, because we are releasing and healing through our bloodline, through our lineage for our ancestors. And so they want to help us, and they can help us the most powerfully as we're moving through this window of energy here. We are, of course, also warming up to the 11/11. So there's a lot that we are cleansing, a lot that we're clearing, a lot that we're releasing to bring us into that space to be ready to receive. A really, really beautiful time in that aspect. As we move through this week, we have a couple planets in Aries. Chiron, we have, of course, the North Node in Aries. But other than that, we're primarily working with the elements of earth and water this week. So that is just enhancing that energy of purification, that energy of cleansing, of clearing. We're really being guided to work with the element of water as well as the element of earth. And there's a lot that's being shifted and reshapen within us as we are working with these two elements. So there's a stabilizing energy to this week, as well as a cleansing and clearing energy to this week. And what we're really being given that opportunity to do with all of this energy, we have a lot of energy in Taurus, right? Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces. We have Saturn stationing direct this week on November 4th in the sign of Pisces at 0 degrees of Pisces. Saturn in that 0 degree mark. I believe Saturn was at 0 degrees of Pisces during the eclipse as well. All the aspects that we're going to be going over today are aspects that we talked about a little bit in the lunar eclipse video, because they were all essentially present during that lunar eclipse, and we're still moving through, even though the eclipse has come and gone in terms of the actual event. The energies of that, as we know, are fluid. We move through them for about 6 months or so, sometimes longer. That solar eclipse, we're going to be feeling the energy of for 5 years. And the lunar eclipse was, of course, connected to the eclipses that began in November of 2021, when we moved into that nodal axis energy of Taurus and Scorpio. So a big conclusion energy. And we're going to be feeling the residuals of that conclusion of this last eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Taurus, for about 6 months. And like we said, that solar eclipse that we had before that in Libra, we're going to be feeling that for the next 5 years, about as long as the shadow lasted. So that's a big, big energy. This is a big, big energy as well, because it's bringing in a conclusion. It's completing something powerful for us on a soul level. And this week is really about, and it's about continuing to release those fears, right? It's about seeing and recognizing truth. There is a truth that's being illuminated piece by piece, bit by bit for each and every single one of us. And then as Saturn stations direct on the 4th, there's going to be an energy that's asking us to take action and to take responsibility around the truths that are being shown. All right. And remember, Saturn and Pisces, there's a big emphasis on energetic responsibility, taking ownership and responsibility for our energy. And so for this week, a lot of us, I think, are going to be shown where it is that we're being called to step up and take ownership for our energy, to take ownership for our actions, to take ownership for our creations. All right. Understanding that everything is a mirror, right? So our reality is mirroring back to us that which exists within. And so taking ownership of that and taking action around like how we can, like, what is that showing us? What is that teaching us? What do we need to do in order to really own that energy? It's all about stepping into our sovereignty on a deeper level. And something that I heard today that really resonated with me. I was watching a clip of an interview that Rising Phoenix Aurora posted on her channel. And she was talking about the first step towards sovereignty is self-love. And that felt so powerful to me, right? Knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you deserve to be sovereign, right? That you deserve to have your energy protected, right? That you deserve healing. And Venus in Virgo this week is really emphasizing this and driving this point home for us. So this is an energy that we're going to be working with. And Venus in Virgo, let me find, yes, she is today, as we are recording this, trining Uranus and Taurus. So there's a beautiful energy here as she's relating to Uranus, bringing out the rebel within us, right? Allowing us that extra oomph that lets us express ourselves that much more freely without fear of judgment. Okay, this is a big one of the major fears that a lot of people, I feel, are releasing and have been moving through with that lunar eclipse in Taurus is fear of judgment, and self-judgment. All right, fear of judgment from others. And where does that come from? Remember, everything's a mirror. And our fears are mirrors as well. They're showing us, they're teaching us something that exists within. So if I'm afraid of others judging me, it's most likely because I judge myself. All right. So releasing that, letting go of that, moving deeper into a space of self-acceptance and self-love. All right. This is sort of the first task as we're moving into Scorpio season, Annika, is really balancing that. Oh, and thank you, Stephanie, my Eye of Horus that I have going on here. Balancing that and stepping into a deeper level of appreciation of self. Really owning this journey and what it means for us. And the way that this journey allows, like the beautiful, think about it, every time that we incarnate, our soul is having this amazing opportunity to express itself in a new form. All right. So let's not hinder that expression. And that's what today really sets us free in a sense where that's concerned. It makes us bold as well. Not only do we have Venus and Virgo trining Uranus and Taurus, but we also have Mars still in conjunction with Mercury in opposition to Jupiter and Taurus. All right. So this Mars conjunct Mercury in Scorpio, this is a very empowering energy. It is, of course, also, there's an intensity to it. All right. So we want to be aware of that intensity and we want to try to use that to our advantage. We want to channel that energy appropriately. And this is what Jupiter and Taurus is assisting us in doing if we allow it to. Jupiter and Taurus is helping us. And Jupiter doesn't typically do this, right? Because Jupiter is the expander. But in this case, Jupiter retrograde in Taurus is kind of helping us to bring things back into focus a little bit as well. All right. It's helping us to simplify in a sense. So all of this complex Scorpio energy, the Taurus energy, Taurus, Uranus and Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus retrograde is also, it's assisting us in simplifying in a way too. It's giving us that opportunity by showing us, it's like the truth is being revealed to us this week. And one thing that we may be finding is that the truth is actually a lot simpler than what we thought. right? And the reason that we were missing the truth, the obvious truth about situations, was because we were too busy complicating them in our minds. All right, so it's assisting us in releasing the complication. Hello, Eve. Thank you, beautiful. Hello, Solomon. Yeah, so there is an energy of tension here, right? We have a lot of opposition going on, but it's an invitation, right? All of these oppositions are an invitation to step into a certain energy. It's an energy of stabilizing, right? With that Taurus energy, taking all that passionate energy of Scorpio and simplifying and stabilizing it and expanding it, right? Because Jupiter will always expand. And Uranus is really a planet of expansion as well, right? It's like we are expanding it, but we're expanding it in practical, concrete ways. That's where the Earth energy of this week comes in. It's that concrete, that stabilization, right? That grounding energy, grounding it all in. And the water is the purifying. The Earth, remember, Earth and water work together well. They're both feminine energies, and they both work. Earth brings the boundaries that the water needs. And the water over time carves the new pathways in the earth. And so that's what we're seeing in a lot of ways. Remember, none of this it's all gradual. All right. So we're seeing the results of the water slowly over time carving new pathways within us. And the way that I'm being shown this as we're talking about it right now is almost like new neural pathways in the brain. That's what the water is trying to create. And so all our responsibility is to allow that to happen by allowing the emotion to flow through us. And the emotion is purifying. If you guys checked out the aura regression, the Mermaids of Lemuria aura regression that I shared with you, that we shared with you, right? We talked about that energy, the purifying energy of the water. Too many words again, too many words. I don't know. Have any of you guys been going through this? Is this an ascension symptom that people have been noticing, where their memory is just getting worse and worse? I know that this is something that people have considered an ascension symptom as we're moving into a place that's more intuitive, and we're stepping outside of the logical mind, the linear mind. That the memory has been kind of shifting and waxing and waning, and just not quite functioning as it's meant to. I've really been experiencing that a lot, like over the last couple weeks. It's honestly like, and I know that this happens a lot when I'm talking with you guys here, and I think it's because I'm starting to slip into more of a theta brainwave. So it's harder to hold facts and figures in the mind when you're in a theta brainwave. I think that's part of why it happens more when I'm talking to you guys, but it's been happening even when I'm not on here with you. Like I'll be in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden, like the words and what I was about to say, it's like it just leaves completely, and I'm just totally blank. Exactly, Vita, Solomon, you guys have been experiencing that too. It's been wild. Hello, Cookies Mama. Hello, beautiful. Yeah. So it's been getting pretty bad. And that just happened to me when I was talking about the energy of the water here. We're talking about the reprogramming of the mind, right? The flowing of emotion. Oh, so that's what it was that I was gonna say was in that aura regression. She shares with us how, wow, here we go again, you guys. Holy crap. Does this just not want to come out? This is so strange. Thank you, Isela. How tears are cleansing, right? How literally the reason that humans cry is because they're purifying through the tears. It's a whole ritual in and of itself, right? Talking about rituals. And so the ritual of crying, of allowing that emotion to flow through, and it might not just be tears, right? It could be any kind of emotions, just allowing them to pass through you. And with meditation as well, during meditation, your intuitive mind, when you're allowing your mind to move into that state of flow, those new pathways are being carved and created. And I do have a meditation. I have a like a little mini course that I'm going to be creating for you guys at some point here very soon, hopefully in the future. I'm putting together some energies around how to with the help of your higher self reprogram your subconscious mind, because this is so important. But it all happens during that meditation state, and our higher selves are doing this for us right now. So just allow it. There's so much energy of allowance right now. The energy of allowance is so important as we're moving through this week. All right, so there is a level of intensity, right? We could feel our mental energies if that Mars conjunct Mercury energy opposing Jupiter. Another way that we could feel this energy in a more challenging aspect is with all that intensity of a lot of energy rattling around in the mind, right? And if it doesn't have the proper release point, it could spill out in ways that are unproductive. We could have people lashing out, people being easily triggered. All of that, whatever is going on in your mental space is going to be magnified. Okay, anywhere where we are feeling suppressed or repressed, wherever we're feeling an intense amount of pressure, and there is pressure coming in on all sides right now. We are going to, that is going to be kind of reaching a boiling point for some people at the beginning of this week. So we want to be aware of that as well. And we want to be aware, if we are reaching our own boiling point, that we find some way to release that pressure cooker. All right, but that pressure cooker serves a purpose because it is bringing us into a deeper state of awareness. Remember how we said, hello, welcome, Pete. Remember how we said that this week we were going to be shown more truth. All right, the truths that we still need to understand and realize. And so the pressure cooker, that energy is part of what's going to be bringing this up for people. So how do we release that? Through meditation or through action. All right. Mars, when we have really active Mars energy, Mars wants to release through action. All right. And the actions with Mars and Scorpio may not necessarily be like we want to, there's going to be a lot of ways that this Mars energy and this mental energy wants to release this week. It could want to release through physical pleasures and sensations. I'm definitely feeling like sex might be an outlet for some people this week, a way that people are seeking to let off a little bit of steam. Any of these primal energies and forces, all right, acting like that's like we're gonna be drawn towards some of those types of ways of release. But there's also different things that we can do, like the physical act of journaling. All right, the act of just like moving the body, getting the body going. This is another time where yoga and breath work and different things like that are going to be really helpful. And yeah, any ways that we can, having those, even like the action of having like a deep, intimate conversation with another person, that's another way that this energy could be released as well. And I am feeling called to say, like, if you are somebody who understands the art of sacred sex and you are able to approach it not from a like, I just need to release this energy, and like not from like a using it as an escape kind of lens, but through a tapping into a deeper reach or recess of yourself, or perhaps having that deep connection with another individual. This is a powerful week to be practicing sacred sex and working with magic, sexual magic. But as Pete said, be very specific about this is like only for those who have that powerful ability either to do this alone or with a sacred partner or a divine partner who is also on that level. Because remember, we're very malleable right now. We are easily taking in the energies of others. And when we blend ourselves sexually with another, that is when we take on the most energy. All right, we are literally mixing our DNA. So yeah, we want to be really aware of that. That is not for everyone. But for people who are in that place, it is a powerful time to do that. Remember also, though, like we talked about with that lunar eclipse in I always want to call it Scorpio because it was so intense, and Taurus, okay? We were clearing a lot of imprints around sexual energy as well. a lot of those darker inverted uses of sexual energy, a lot of the ways that the cabal, whatever you want to call them, the archons, these dark forces and energies, that they've perverted our sexual energy, that they've used it against us. We've been freeing a lot of that. All right, there's been a huge healing around the energy of the children who've been harmed and trafficked as well, where that's concerned. Okay, so there was a big release and healing of all of that energy. So for some people, taking back that power and utilizing that in a sacred way is going to be a really powerful practice or ritual. For others, it's really just the energy of continuing to release that energy and bring through that healing for yourself in whatever other sacred way feels beneficial and powerful for you. And it could be just from allowing that the tears and the emotion and the energy to flow through you. Okay. You've been aggravated with the people most close to you. Yeah, it makes sense. There's a lot of energy, like we said, that's triggering us right now to look within. All right. And that's energy from the Libra eclipse as well, that we're going to be moving through, like we said, for the next 5 years. All right. Where we're really working with this understanding of ourselves through our relationships with others. All right. So they're bringing up within you and whatever it is that you need to see and understand at this point. And we're also seeing right now where it is that we are energetically aligned with people and where it is that we're simply not. All right. So keep that in mind as well. If we are moving towards, there's another energy of bifurcation here, right? That we're moving through and moving towards right now. All right. There's another major splitting of timelines going on. And so those who are not meant to be with you on your journey anymore are breaking away. And those that are, we're going to be experiencing a healing. So we're going to notice by what's happening. Is there a breaking away, or is there an opportunity for healing? All right. And how does that feel? How does that resonate within you? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing everyone in the chat, like, absolutely. Like, I hope that nobody is misunderstanding the fact that I'm saying, like, don't just go out and grab a random person and try to do some sex magic. I'm not saying that at all. It definitely needs to be with the right person. There are people who are in sacred divine connections right now. And those people, I'm saying, working with that energy together, there's a powerful opportunity for healing and for assisting and healing the collective and creating some really powerful sacred energy. But it's obviously not for everybody. You know, like, don't just go out there and be like, oh, this guy looks great or this girl looks great. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, we should at this point, like, know better than to do that, and know and understand that, like, we are creating a powerful bonding and binding of energies when we engage with people in that manner. Okay. So I'm like, definitely, like, let's just reiterate that for everyone that we are definitely not, that's not the recommendation there. I think for many people, it's like having that your own personal intimate connection with yourself in that way can be very powerful as well, and very healing. There's going to be different ways that people are working through healing this energy right now. But those involved in divine sacred connections who have reached that level in their connection with each other can offer some really powerful healing to the collective. I'm feeling it, like, and this is the energy of, like, twin flame union, right? When we talk about this energy, as once we've become unified within, if we do have a divine counterpart, an energy of counterpart that is sent to us in the physical, when we come into physical union in that sacred connection, it's literally like a portal of energy is opened. Okay. So that type of connection, that type of portal of energy with that intention to provide healing can be really powerful right now for those who are up to that task and that challenge, and feeling resonant with that energy, or simply just with that intention to bring deeper healing to each other. Yeah. Mary Magdalene offers some really powerful teachings actually around sacred sex. Definitely the combo I'm tuning out a little. All right. So getting back to all of this. And I think the reason, like where we got into all of that was we were saying like some people are going to be feeling the desire to kind of like act out sexually. I hate that term. That's a term we used to use in like 12-step recovery. I really don't like it. There's something gross about the way that's like, I don't know. I don't like that terminology, but that essentially gives you an idea of what this is. It's like using that as an escape. All right. And so that's what we don't want to do. That's the way that this energy, as we're healing this inversion of energy, that the old ways are always going to call to us because they're trying to, like, remember, we're creating new timelines here. All right, we're creating a new timeline involving sacred sexuality right now. And so as we are doing that, the old inverted timeline is trying to grab as many people as possible and pull you back into that energy, because that's how that timeline survives. If we're not giving into that energy anymore, if we're not embracing that and embodying that and acting that out and holding that template within us, that timeline can't stick anymore. And this is how we're moving into higher and higher timelines every day right now, is because those old inverted ways of thinking, of being, of acting, of behaving are falling out of fashion. We're not engaging with them. Less and less of the population is engaged in those things. All right. And so this is how we shift any timeline. So notice where, and this is involving anything, okay? Notice where you are being pulled back into the old and what new energy you're being called to step into. And step more deeply into that, the new energy that you're being called to towards. All right. Let's see. Moving deeper into the week here. For those of you who are into a lot of the minor asteroids and stuff, Vesta will be going retrograde in Cancer on the 2nd. I don't really pay attention to a lot of the smaller asteroids. Obviously, we pay attention to Chiron. We pay attention to Juno to an extent. But a lot of these other ones, Pallas Athena to a point, like, but there's a lot of them. And I look more at the bigger players here. Okay. So there's a more subtle influence with that. A deep healing around our nurturing energy, right? This is a feminine healing here. All right, there's a processing of the emotional body going on here, but I'm not going to get too deep into that. But anybody who is interested or who does follow that, we do have that retrograde happening beginning on the 2nd, as the sun comes into opposition with Jupiter and Taurus. All right, so everyone's moving through this opposition to Jupiter and Taurus. All right, and Jupiter and Taurus is bringing something into focus, simplifying something for everybody, expanding us through simplification is kind of the energy here, which is really beautiful, right? That's beautiful. I love that, Annika. She said, I'm connected with my twin in a higher dimension, helping to clear this. That is gorgeous. All right. I love that. Forgiving. Yeah. Mentally releasing and forgiving. This is huge, huge stuff, Eve. Yep. Yeah. Grieving the old, absolutely. It's a process. A lot of people feel like they can't grieve the old, especially when we're releasing things that, like, as we begin healing, we're like, I should want to release that, right? Why am I even attached to that? And if we start judging ourselves on that, it's essentially we're shaming ourselves, and we don't want to do that. All right, allow yourself to grieve whatever it is. It was serving you at a point, and there's no judgment around that. Things that are not good for us serve us all the time until they don't, right? All right, what else here? Yes, and then on the 3rd, we have Venus in Virgo opposing Neptune in Pisces. So today we have Venus trining Uranus in Taurus, right? This is a beautiful energy, real expansive energy, heart expanding, expanding more into our authentic selves, really embracing all that makes us unique, all that makes us different, all that really makes us shine, right? And then as Venus comes into opposition with Neptune in Pisces, this is where we have a deeper layer of things being revealed here, right? Because remember, Neptune, and I'm going to double check myself here, but I'm fairly certain that Neptune is still retrograde as well. Yeah, so Neptune's still retrograde. Neptune retrograde is still peeling back the veil of illusion. Remember, Neptune direct creates illusion. Neptune retrograde dispels illusion, all right, dissolves illusion. And so there is this clarity that's happening here, All right. And there may be this push-pull as Venus comes into this opposition with Neptune, where it's like we don't maybe really want to see what it is that we're being shown. There's a resistance that shows up within us again. But Neptune is asking us to surrender that resistance, to allow it to do what it does best, which is to dissolve that resistance and show us the truth. All right. And show us the beauty, really. Venus and Virgo wants to purify, wants to be cleansed, wants to heal. All right. This is an ultimate healing energy and a self-love energy. So it's really allowing us to see a truth, love ourselves through that truth, love ourselves and others, forgive, like somebody mentioned on here. All right. Which brings us into a deeper state of self-love and a higher state of a purer state of love for ourselves, for humanity, for the collective. All right. So tapping into that, which is really beautiful. And then on the 4th, Saturn is stationing direct in Pisces, and Mercury is opposing Uranus and Taurus. All right. So Mercury is moved through, or is right now moving through, that opposition to Uranus and Taurus. Or sorry. Okay, I'm getting confused here. Jupiter and Taurus. There we go. And then we'll be moving through that into an opposition with Uranus and Taurus. So getting this expansion, expansion energy from Jupiter, and then also from Uranus as well. There's a level of confusion that, like, okay, so this week is interesting because there is a truth that's being revealed to us, but there's also a level of confusion that we may be experiencing. And the reason for this is, if we're trying to use our linear logical mind to understand, we're going to get so turned around this week. We're going to get so confused. If we can surrender the logical mind, allow the intuition, allow the feeling to come in, allow the higher mind to activate, the truth is going to be revealed, and it's going to be so obvious that we're going to be like, how did I ever not see that? All right. It's kind of like, those old posters they used to have, they were like called magic eye posters, I think. And it was a pattern, and you would stare at it and you would kind of like move it back from your face. And as you were moving it away from you, you would let your eyes unfocus. And as your eyes unfocused and you moved the picture back, all of a sudden it was like a 3D image would jump out at you. That's what this week is like. All right. It's like a magic eye. So if you're staring up at it up close, and you're really honing in on every little detail, and you're using that analytical mind to try to understand, it's going to look like a big old mess. All right. But the second that you surrender and you release and you unfocus and you allow your mind to open, your higher mind to the access that it needs, that it all of a sudden it's crystal clear. That's the best way to describe what we have going on right now. It's teaching us how to go within for truth instead of seeking without. And then on November 4th, as Saturn turns direct, I said that really weird. Just trying to, Mercury and Taurus here, by the way. Hi. So as Saturn stations direct in the sign of Pisces, we're going to begin to slowly start feeling some movement. Where it was in our lives that we felt turned around, where it was that there wasn't a whole lot happening or going on, it's like the pace is going to pick up. Okay. But it's going to happen slowly. Remember, Saturn is a slower moving planet. Not the slowest by far, but slower. So that it takes a little while to pick that steam back up. So we're looking at like mid-November. We're going to feel things moving forward much more powerfully, but we're going to begin to feel that forward motion. It's like we can already sense that things are getting ready to start moving. They're getting ready to start shifting. But Saturn in Pisces, remember, is asking us, like we said at the beginning of this, to really shore up those energetic boundaries, to take that energetic responsibility. And so it's like, what are the practical ways that we can begin putting this into practice? That we can begin owning our energy, owning our creations, and stepping more powerfully into our sovereignty. And like we said, a big focus this week is that first step of that, of stepping into our sovereignty, which is self-love. All right. And that's all we need to talk about for the energies and astrologies of this week. Thank you, Vincent. And hello, welcome. Oh, yeah, the walk-in. You're feeling that energy, Vita. Is that a aspect of your higher self walking in? Yeah, that's good stuff. And I am going to do another little video on walk-ins, just talking about that energy a little more, so you guys understand that, and we all kind of understand that a little bit better, and the different types of walk-ins. But definitely, we've been feeling that energy of the higher self walking in. So that's beautiful that you're experiencing that, or you're feeling that energy. Hello, Mika. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Saturn going direct, showing truth. I mean, truth. We've just got the truth aspect mirrored to us on all sides right now. Right? We've got that Pluto energy, Pluto moving back through those final anaretic degrees. Pluto is at 27 degrees, which is as far as Pluto will go in his retrograde. And then Pluto will be stationing, or Pluto just stationed direct on the 1010, right? So now Pluto's moving back through those final degrees again. That's shedding more light, shedding more truth. We're getting it on all angles and all aspects, you guys. But it's beautiful. It's important, right? Sorry, reading the comments here. Oh, yeah, no, there's never any pressure to do it all today. These energies are all gradual, right? And time isn't linear anyway. And we can tap back into these energies at any time. All right, we all have our own perfect divine timing, our own perfect divine timelines that we're working with and working on. Let's see. What did I want to say? Yeah, and we do, as we're looking further into the month here and kind of talking about that, we also have geez, wow, this is really a day for this, you guys, huh? We have Mars moving into a brand new cycle as Mars conjuncts the sun. I believe that's going to be on the 25th of November. All right, so we're going to get into the cards now because clear. Honestly, I'm pretty hungry right now. And we still got the pick a piles to do here. So we're going to do the pick a piles, and we're going to start with pile 1. So all those right now, take a moment. Which pile do you feel like you're going to resonate with? Those on the live stream, you guys are going to get to hear them all if you stay tuned to the live stream. But we're going to start with pile 1 for all those who chose pile 1. Clear. Pile number 1, let's get some energy. Let's get some guidance for this upcoming week. What do all my beauties who chose pile number 1 need to know moving forward? What's going on? Remember, we are working in Scorpio season as well. So just with Scorpio season alone, there's truth coming out, right? That's what Scorpio energy is. All right. The shadow, working with those shadow energies. All right. We got the High Priestess coming out. So there's speaking of secrets and justice. This is karma, but this is like the universe bringing through justice is what this feels like. Bringing through your just desserts. And don't anybody get freaked out by that, because we got the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So this is like the good things that you've earned. And this is also like this feels like somebody I'm feeling many, many lifetimes here. Many, many lifetimes of choosing what was just, of choosing what was right. And this isn't to say that that whoever this pile is for that's going to resonate with, it's not to say that like you never made a mistake, right? Of course, we all made mistakes. So one thing, it's been interesting. I'm in the very beginning stages of studying the Kabbalah, but I'm studying it through the lens of the astrology and tarot as part of the learning of this and the understanding of this. But one of the basics one of the basic tenets is this understanding of the descending down through the tree of good and evil, right? They talk about the tree of good and evil and up through the tree of life. All right. And so it's like, remember the tree of good and evil. So this means we didn't just come here to experience, and part of our evolution, the wisdom that we're gaining, right? It's not just the sacred, it's also the wisdom that we gain from the profane, the experience of both, the sacred and the profane, right? The good and the evil. And so we've all been both. We've all done both. We've all experienced both. That's the nature of duality. Okay. But this is like somebody who has learned, is through this process, gained the wisdom to choose the path of good, to choose that which is just and right and fair for many, many lifetimes. I'm feeling five lifetimes. And so this could also be somebody who's suffered for the past 5 lifetimes. I'm feeling suffered in very similar ways over the last 5 lifetimes. And yet, even amidst the suffering, even being subject to evil, this person has chosen the path of good. And that was part of the lesson. That was part of the understanding, is even if you are subjected to evil, you can still choose good. If you are strong enough in your spirit. So this is like overcoming the cycle of abuse. And then we have the Fool with the 3 of Cups here. This is like really beautiful stuff coming in. Okay? Look at this. The 10 of Cups does not want to leave the bottom of the deck here. Somebody here could be starting a family. If not this week, then soon. There could be energies that needed to be healed around. Perhaps part of this suffering, this pain, and this trauma had to do with your family. And for many, many lifetimes, you've been suffering at the hands of your family, right? This could be like narcissistic abuse in the home. This could be so many different things, right? Losing family members, losing children even. All right, a lot of pain and suffering around the home and the family that prevented you from being able to step into having your own family, right? Because there was this fear of repeating that cycle, that broken cycle. But Spirit's saying you don't have to repeat that. You have graduated from that. And you've earned this happiness. All right. This is also like the energy of like somebody who is afraid to have children because they didn't have good parents or role models. And they're afraid of that they're not going to be able to give their children what they need. And Spirit is saying whatever it is that you have been desiring, right? Not everybody is going to be family. All right. But for some people, it definitely is. Love, family, whatever your 10 of Cups is, whatever your complete emotional fulfillment in this lifetime is, you're moving towards that. It's like the fear that you're releasing this week is the fear of stepping into your success, is the fear of being happy. All right. Those with pile number 1, there's an energy of like being afraid to be happy because that happiness could be taken away at any moment. And it's like that fear is leaving you. That's really beautiful. Yeah, with the moon here. Confusion. All right. There was a great level of confusion here. I'm feeling dream, like the confusion is lifting, but I'm also feeling dreams. There's something, the moon's here symbolizing dreams, okay? Even more than confusion. All right, we got the Lovers here. And we got the Magician on the bottom of the deck, all right? So this leads into kind of what we were just talking about too, right? Somebody is in your dream time. All right, there's two different messages here. For some in pile number, watching this for pile number one, in your dream time, your divine counterpart is communicating with you because they're coming in for you. Because of this energy of graduating, of healing this deep wound, you're now able to, it's like they're guiding you toward the manifesting of this divine union. That's for some in pile number one. For the others in pile number one, there's a decision in love that needs to be made this week. And there's a lot of confusion still around like what the choice is. And what Spirit's saying is the choice is what exemplifies self-love. What choice exemplifies self-love the most? Stop thinking about this in terms of them and start thinking about this in terms of you. What choice around this person, about this relationship, this connection, exemplifies your love for yourself the best? Because for some people, you've been putting yourself on the back burner. And Spirit's saying enough of that. All right. For others still, there's this energy here of there are some people who've been, it's almost like a secret admirer kind of energy, like you've been admiring somebody from a distance. And this week you're getting that impetus to act, to actually make a choice, make a decision. For some people, it's like somebody else is interested in this person now and they're making the moves. So if you're not going to act, you're going to miss out on the opportunity. Spirit's saying you create your own reality. If you want it, go and get it. If you want this person, let them know how you feel. Or for some of you guys, somebody else is going to be letting them, you know how they feel about you this week. Yeah, we got Judgment in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So there's a choice or a decision that's not happening right now because you haven't been able to see clearly. All right. And for some people, it's like that clarity is coming through this week. For others, it's like, this is where you have to practice that suspending the linear mind and connecting in with the heart. Okay. We got the Hierophant here. Once again, this energy of graduation, spiritual mastery. There's big lessons being mastered for my pile number ones this week. All right. Lessons in gratitude, lessons in justice. 5 of Cups coming out here. Lessons in loss. Oh, this is interesting. I'm feeling this energy coming here through for pile number one. It's like the energy of like losing my religion is what it feels like. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the song Losing My Religion, but I'm also just thinking of that, like that's the line, the quote that's coming through here. So somebody's belief system is being shattered this week, I feel like. Or there's an event, there's some sort of loss this week that is, for some people, that is like really making you question your faith in yourself, for some of you, in yourself, in spirit, in this process, in divine timing. What guidance do we have for those who are in this losing my religion energy here? Healing. Take that space that you need to heal. The wisdom and the understanding of the lesson and the reason can only be found once you take that step back to allow yourself to heal. For some people, it's like you thought you had healed from something and it's coming back up this week because a deeper level of healing is required. You skimmed the surface. You thought that you had healed it, but you were really skimming the surface in a way, and you're being asked to go deeper this week. Some people, it's like you're being thrown back into it, or there's another experience coming up, another loss, another painful experience that's intending to break you open so that you can access this deeper level of healing that you hadn't accessed before. Once again, I'm feeling an energy of family here. I'm feeling an energy of feeling left out in the cold, unrequited love. I feel an energy of somebody who's been praying really, really hard for something or someone, and you're not seeing the evidence of your prayers in your reality. And so it's almost like you give up, or you want to give up. You've been up at night, right? Stressed, anxious, waiting for something to come through, waiting for healing of a situation, of a person, of yourself. And it's like, that is the journey. The not knowing is the journey. The reason that nothing is shifting is because Spirit's trying to get you to look around and say, hey, I'm praying out here. It's time to go in here. The true power is here. And there's a higher spiritual truth that needs to be understood. Like the simplest example of this that I can give, and I'm not meaning to sound cold when I say this, right, is like when somebody is transitioning, say you have a loved one who's very ill, or they're at the end of their life, whatever it is, right? And you don't want to let them go. All right. You just cannot accept. It's like, on an intellectual level that this was their soul's plan. This was their soul's journey. This is when they decided this was their time. All right. They're completing their karma. They're completing their commitment, their contract, their agreement. But you can't accept that. And so you've been trying to interfere with that. And it's like that internal struggle of yours, that's the whole point. That's your lesson. That's your experience. And it's about accepting and letting go this week. And this doesn't have to be specifically around losing a loved one, like a loved one transitioning. Could be anything. Okay, anything that you're being asked to let go of, anything that anyone is having difficulty accepting, allowing, whatever word you choose, right? It's like, it's the act of letting go. And once you let go, you can move from this to this. There's some interesting energy here, right? See how all these swords are pointed that way, and how these three swords are pointed down. Something about the energy, the flow of the energy, right? The energy is flowing out. The energy is it's like feeding something, right? All the sadness, the worry, it's feeding something outside of the self almost. Here you see the swords pointing down. They almost look like swords of clarity, swords of truth, swords of activation. One is aligned over the third eye. One's aligned over the heart and one's aligned over the solar plexus. Interesting. I don't know. As within, so without. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this one might be speaking to a lot of people. I may not end up doing all 3 piles. So this might be for everyone. There might be a little something in this reading for everyone for this week. That was powerful reading though. There's a lot of powerful shifts, a lot of powerful things happening this week for people. Let's see. We'll do a pile 2. We'll see if we make it to pile 3 here. We might make it. Clear. Page cups on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. All right, we're going to do pile 2 now. For pile 2, we're going to use the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck to start us off here. Clear. What guidance do we have for those who chose pile number 2 as we're moving through this week? What's going on for my pile 2s? All right, we have the Fire Prince in reverse. This is optimism versus aggression. We have the Cosmos. And we have the Word Lord. So for my pile number 2s this week, be very careful with your words. Be very purposeful with the words that you speak. Ensure that the way that you are communicating is truly reflective of that which you wish to communicate. There is a possibility here for fiery words, for words of passion, for saying things that we later regret. And we want to make sure that we're not doing that. We also want to make sure that we're not misrepresenting ourselves through the things that we speak. All right. And so this is like saying things that feel good in the moment, but that don't actually carry weight and that we don't actually mean them. Right? Like, don't make promises that you can't keep, and be aware of where others may be doing this as well. We want to try to communicate from a more stable, realistic viewpoint. Okay. Remember that you are writing your own story, right? You are the author of your own story. Yes, this is a play, but you are the actor, you are the producer, you are the costume designer, you are the writer, right? You create the script. And for some of you guys, this week is about flipping the script. So it's about really looking at and understanding, like, where is it? First of all, what is my perspective? All right. Do I tend to see from a glass half empty or a glass half full? Do I expect the best or the worst? Where is it that I can shift my expectations to match that which I'm trying to create? How do I speak to myself? Right? What kind of language do I use when I talk to myself? Affirmations, really big for pile number 2s this week. Paying attention, maybe writing down your thoughts, noticing, really paying attention to the words that you speak, that you use on a regular basis, not just when you're talking to yourself, but when you're talking to other people as well. When we become aware of our language, of our verbiage, It gives us a lot of insight into ourselves, what we truly think, what we truly feel, what we truly want and need, and what kind of energy it is that we're putting out there into the universe. Spirit wants you to be really conscious about that this week, pile number 2s. We got the Diamond Dreamer on the bottom of the deck. Spirit wants pile number 2 to also realize and understand that, like, those in pile number 2, you guys are really trying to create abundance right now. For yourself and for some of you guys, for others as well. Remember, there's only so much that we can do for others. If it's not a vibrational match for them, it's not going to stick in their reality. All right. We can wish good for others and put positive energy out there to support them in their own manifestations and creations. But there's only so much we can really do because they are creating their own reality, just as we are creating ours. All right. But some of us, it's like some people this week is going to be a major shift because perhaps you've been really focused on creating material prosperity for yourself. And now it's like what true prosperity and wealth and abundance means to you is becoming more clear. All right. So for some people, it's like it's a priority shift. It's a shift in values. It's where you realize that what you thought was important really doesn't matter to you anymore because something else is of greater importance. All right. And for some people, it's like, I'm feeling that 5 of Cups energy coming through again, like we had for pile number 1, where it's like, there's an energy where perhaps you were focused in lack. And now this week, you're getting that opportunity to step into a more expansive viewpoint. Instead of looking at what you lack, it's like looking at what you have and creating more, creating better. All right. So there's an energy, a shift in gratitude. Moving into an energy of gratitude, moving into an energy of expansion, a greater awareness of what you really want and what you really need. And it's like some people in pile number 2, you're going to see that you already have everything that you need. It's just like you are so focused on the things that you didn't have. And it's just, I feel a major priority shift for a lot of people in pile number 2, which like in a really beautiful way. Then the Phoenix. Yeah, you guys are transforming. Your perspective is transforming. I'm feeling like a really powerful purification of your heart. It's like a real level up in terms of your heart chakra and your ability to love and be loved. And there's some powerful changes happening for my pile number 2s as well. So it's like the surrendering to the changes. And yes, this is outer change, but this is also inner change. This is like an inner change that's been underway for quite some time that you've been trying not to resist, but you have still been resistant to. And you're finally in that stage where you're able to stop resisting that change and just fully surrender into it. And that is the moment when you are reborn. And it's like you were so worried about this new you that you are becoming, right? You're new to you, to your ego self, right? Your human self, but really more aligned with your higher self, with your spiritual self. You were so worried about this transformation and losing the aspects of you that you were afraid to part with. Some defining aspects of who you are, even like some of your goals and the things that matter to you, you were so worried about those priorities changing. But now they are shifting and changing. You're fully allowing it. And you're realizing that you have the opportunity to be way happier than you were before because you're coming more into alignment with your soul's truth. It's like for some people, it literally feels like something that you already are, that you've just been resisting embracing. You know, it's like one example that's popping into mind is like motherhood or parenthood. If there's been a part of you that's been resistant to that process, it's like that part of you finally shifts. And you open up to that in a way that you weren't able to open up to before because something within you is healing. There's a fear that's releasing once again, a fear of connection. The fear of connection. For my pile twos, the fears that you're releasing this week have to do with connection. And they have to do with transformation. Release. It's like the ego. There's a crumbling of the ego, the falseness of the ego for my pile number twos this week. Yeah, this is gorgeous energy. It's like Spirit's saying the cosmos is so infinite and so vast. You are so infinite and so vast. There is so much of you that you have yet to tap into. Open yourself to me. Open yourself to the myriad of expressions of cosmic intelligence that wish to flow through you. Allow them to flow like water. Cleansing, healing, purifying, opening, accenting, accentuating. Allow the beautiful divine expression of self that wishes to pour forth, to flow through you, in you, and out of you, to take form in the world. Don't cling to what you have already been, to what you have already done, known, and seen. Open yourself up to that which is as of yet unseen. Open yourself up to me. And this week, you're ready to do that. You're ready to open yourself up to the divine, to the next expression of the divine that wishes to flow through you, to be given form by you. That's big stuff. And we have sacred union on the bottom of the deck, partnership, romance. So for some of you, your resistance it's your resistance to love that's melting away. Right? And that's bringing through a beautiful partner for some of you guys. Or it's allowing you to connect more deeply with the divine union that you're already a part of. Gratitude, service coming through. Conscious action. All right. The camel boy, small steps and asking for help. So as this new you is birthed forth this week, as you surrender to the fires of change and resurrection, there are small steps that you're being asked to take towards your goals, towards your dreams. You're being asked to act consciously and conscientiously this week with humility, to be conscious in all of your actions, and to practice a little bit of selflessness. There's going to be opportunities for service. You're going to have opportunities to be of service, and you're also going to have opportunities to ask for help. All right, so there's a balance here that's being called for. Know when to do which. And know and understand that you can't do it all alone and you're not supposed to. Okay? We came here. This third dimensional construct is, yes, the lowest dimension of communal living in the universe, but it is still communal living. We come here to connect with each other, to learn from each other, to grow through our interactions with each other, through the reflections that we provide one another. All right? Connection is so important. Without connection, human beings literally wither up and die. Babies who are denied affection, who are denied human contact, will literally die. Their will to live will dry up and they will die. Their bodies, their organs will shut down. All right, we are here to experience connection. We're not here to do this alone. And what Spirit's bringing through right now, what Spirit wants us to understand is that a lot of people, there are people watching this who are saying like, I want to connect. I'm so lonely, but I just can't seem to find that connection with other people. Like I don't have that opportunity. I don't have that luxury. And what Spirit's saying is that if we are isolated, we have to look within, because remember, everything's a mirror. What barriers do we have within ourselves that are preventing us from experiencing connection, from allowing connection? And yes, many of those barriers come from childhood trauma. They come from experiences we couldn't control, where we weren't loved. Remember, going back to the baby analogy, we talked, there's a reason that was the example that wanted to come forth. All right. That created pain within us. It created fears. It created programs that our higher self this week is here and willing to help us shift. But we have to be willing to shift it too. We have to be willing to heal. If we are willing to heal this week, there is powerful healing coming in available to us. Clear. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And this is one of those levels of awareness, right? When we come to understand, this is a taking responsibility for our energy. I know this sounds cold maybe, and I don't mean it that way. You guys can feel that there's love here, right? And this is something that I've struggled with. I'm still working through this. There's a lot within this reading for me as well, okay? But it's this energy, it's this knowledge that like we're programmed with that. And then those programs repeat themselves. So we try to trust people and they do hurt us. They do betray us because that program still exists and we're still manifesting that. We're creating those same storylines until we heal ourselves. And yes, sometimes it's allowing that connection that helps that healing. But some of this healing has to be done within first, right? This is where the self-love piece comes in again. The loving the self, the knowing, believing that we are worthy of being loved, that we are worthy of connection, that we are worthy of a love that doesn't run from us, that doesn't take from us without giving anything in return, that doesn't turn its back on us. But it's like in order to have that, we have to learn how to first not turn our backs on ourselves. And that's what this week is teaching many of our pile number twos, how to stop turning our back on ourselves. That's powerful. Clear. Oh yeah, we all do. We all screw up on the daily. That's part of the experience, right? That's how we learn. That's how we grow. If we didn't make any mistakes, how boring life would be, right? Yeah. Clear. All right, you guys. We are going to do pile number 3, but honestly, I have to run for just a moment. Clear. So I'm going to be right back. Those of you who wish to stay on the live stream, go ahead and stay. I'll be back to do pile number 3 in just a minute. Think of this as like a commercial break or something. I love you so much. Hello, Chosen. Welcome. I'll be right back, you guys. Hello. All right. Who do we still have? Oh, we still got some people on here. All right. Checking out the comments for a minute. Oh, yeah. Not only, right? A lot of us, not only do we give ourselves great advice, but we give other people great advice too. It's the, it's kind of that irony. I feel like some of the people who give the greatest advice have the hardest time following it, right? And applying it in their own lives. That's where that age old quote comes from that I quote my friend Glenn, my mentor Glenn all the time. We teach that which we most need to learn, right? Let's see. All right, pile 3. Here we go. We're going to be using the activation cards for pile number 3. What activations? I feel like my pile 3s are getting really activated this week. Clear. A price to pay someday. That price to pay, it's called karma, right? All right. What activations are my pile 3s receiving this week? What's going on for my pile 3s? Quoting Alice. I love you, Eve. I love everybody on here. You guys are amazing. Hello, Amber. Yes, very intense month indeed. I know. I still plan to do a shadow reading for you guys at some point. Not that we don't always get into some shadow stuff with all of these, but a specific shadow reading. Oh, Kayla. Hello, beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. I love Kayla. You guys are going to probably see more of me and Kayla soon. Very excited to have her on here, even in the chat. Love you so much, beautiful. All right. Looking into our activations for pile 3. Oh, thank you. Ooh, that came flying out. So the first card is the Chamber of the Violet Flame. All right. And as we know, the violet flame helps us to transmute energies. All right. So there's a lot of powerful transmutation going on for my pile 3s this week. You guys are the alchemist. All right. And I'm feeling this energy of alchemy extending for my pile number 3s. This is like all areas of your life. Whatever needs to be alchemized, whatever needs to shift and change forms in your reality is shifting and changing. But it's not just, it's like, yes, you're surrendering and you're allowing the things that need to shift and change organically. But there's also an energy here I'm feeling for my pile number 3s where it's like you're taking the lead and you're taking charge when it comes to the things in your reality. And this is very much that Saturn stationing direct energy, right? In Pisces, that energetic responsibility. You guys are really taking responsibility for your energy, and you're looking at some of the things. It's like and once again, this is reminding me of the serenity prayer, which I've used on here in recent weeks a few times, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right. And so this week, you guys are really in that energy, that wisdom to know the difference. All right. And so you're looking at your reality, you're surrendering, you're allowing the things that are wanting to shift and change organically to transform organically. And you're consciously transforming the things that are requiring your conscious effort and effort. I thought there was another word that needed to come through there, but that's it. Just whatever is requiring your conscious effort, you are consciously transforming. Yeah, any of the OGs on this channel will remember my original channel, the sister channel, Intuitive Insights with Kayla and Kassia. We started our first YouTube channel together. And if you don't follow Kayla's channel, go ahead and follow her, Kayla Divine channel. She also is very active on TikTok. Has a really, really fun TikTok channel there. So check her out, tribe, if you haven't yet. If you don't know, now you know. All right, so, and there's a lot of this. Remember at the beginning of this reading, for those of you who were present, we talked about the ancestral clearing and healing going on this week. Pile number 3s, you guys are doing a lot of release for your ancestors this week as well. So it's like, take that violet flame energy and send that through your bloodline, send that through your ancestry. You guys are being transformed, powerfully transformed. And you guys might relate. This is more for people catching the replay, right? But those of you catching the replay, you might relate to really both piles, but pile 2 definitely. Hello, Rosie. Welcome, beautiful. Thank you. We have karmic board clearing. All right, so major karmic closeouts, you guys, with the violet flame and the karmic board clearing card. You guys are like, were we joking about karma when I started shuffling here? Like, you guys are doing some serious, like, you're cleaning house this week. All right. We have the Holy Grail here. All right. Look at that. That is like the biggest Ace of Cups I have ever seen right there. All right. And this is all about tapping into your own divinity, your own inner sacredness. It's like the understanding that you are the Holy Grail. This experience, this earthly experience, is the Holy Grail. Everything that you need. And once again, this is mirroring, I think it was pile 1's reading, where we talked about everything that you need that you've been seeking without. You're finding, it's like there's this powerful activation that's allowing you to see it within, to recognize it within, to find it within, to become one with the energy, the vibration, the frequency of it, so that you are now going to be able to draw it to you that much more powerfully. All right, you're releasing all this old karma, you're releasing all this dead weight. And stepping into this. Drawing this in. We have Arcturian light codes on the bottom of the deck here. This is all about recalling power, evolution. All right, what do I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to do, I think this is a Tarot of Dreams. I think that's what this deck is called. We're going to clear. We're going to do a little bit of clarifying with the Tarot of Dreams here. Let's talk about this karmic board clearing here. Yeah, you guys, what was it? Yeah, pile 2. Check out pile 2. There's a lot in pile 2 for you guys. This card here talking about rewriting your story, living your truth. Spirit's saying, like, all of you, make sure that you are really cleansing your energy this week. Really keep that energy super clear. All right. Run your shields. Make sure you're shielding powerfully. Make sure that you are using that violet flame, not just through your ancestry, but on yourself. All right. Get an energy session if you need it. If any of you would like to reach out to me, if you're feeling called, if you want to do a session with me, go ahead. My information's in the description box below. Yeah, you guys want to keep your energy super, super clear because there's so much that's shifting and changing within you. There's so much that's wanting to be burned off. Like you guys, I know we talked about working with water and earth this week, but you guys really want to work with fire too. Like work with fire. Thank you for that donation, Rosie. That's very sweet of you. Clear. Let's talk a little bit more about this karmic board clearing here. Definitely meditate. Take the time to meditate this week, you guys, as well. You're going to discover a lot in your meditations. And a lot of this karmic clearing has to do with living your truth and rewriting your story by living differently than you've lived in the past. So making new choices. That's a huge aspect of the energy for you this week. All right, so we got the 5 of Cups. This card has been coming out for, this card came out in pile number 1. I felt the energy of it in pile 2, and it's coming out in pile 3 as well. There's a lot of loss being cleared. And this is Mars and Scorpio, which is where Mars is right now, right? Yeah. There's a lot of sadness, a lot of grief, a lot of loss being cleared across the board this week. Definitely for you guys, I'm feeling that loss. I'm feeling that unrequited love energy. I'm feeling that energy of abandonment. There's definitely, yeah, we got the King of Swords here. So for some of you, this is about a past love that was lost. For some of you guys, this is going to be explaining some of your dynamic in relationships now. Especially if you find that you tend to be possessive, if you tend to be needy, if you tend to be codependent in any way, or on the flip side of that, if you tend to stay disconnected from people, right? Not really letting people fully in. This is why it has to do with this energy of loss and abandonment, this unrequited love energy, or this energy of loss from other lifetimes. For some of you guys, there's somebody that you're playing out this storyline with right now in your lifetime that has a King of Swords energy. So this is air sign energy. Could be Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Could also just simply be somebody who has that energy. They're a little detached. They're a little cold. Definitely, if you have a tendency to fall for people who are unavailable, that's a pattern that you're clearing, that you're having the opportunity to clear with this person from past lifetimes. And you do that by choosing better for yourself. Okay? Trust me, this is a storyline that I had to clear out. It took me many, many men to clear this storyline out in my own life. All right? Oh, that's crazy, Kayla. I love that. She channeled the same thing this morning. All right. So it's like you're clearing out that template right now, not just for yourself, but for the collective. All right. These are collective energies, the microcosm, the macrocosm, right? Energies where you gave your power away. This is about taking our power back, by taking our love back, by loving ourselves more, by loving ourselves better, through the act of not accepting less. There's father healing I'm feeling here as well for some people. All right, we got the Six of Swords. Yeah. We're moving on to calmer waters. We're moving on to something better. I'm seeing these swords. You notice how he's in like a cage of swords here? And it's 4, which is interesting, right? Kind of a mirroring of the 4 of Wands in some ways. Bear with me here, but different. So the 4 of Wands is about connection. It's about coming together. Here, it's almost like he's built this fortress to keep people out. Yeah, so it's interesting. Some of my viewers watching this, you are the one who falls in love with the people who are unavailable. The masculines, I definitely feel this more as the feminines, it can go either way, right? For some people, you are the one who keeps people out. And it's not just because you're emotionally unavailable to others, because you're emotionally unavailable to yourself. And so some people who are that in that role are going to be realizing that and having a coming to grips moment where they realize why it is that they are so emotionally unavailable. So for some people, there's actually a healing here where you're able to make a connection with somebody because they realize they're ready to do their own healing now. That's for some. For other people, it's like you're ready to break away from this connection because you know you deserve better. And you're going to know which one it is for you. There's not going to be any questioning of it. All right, because this person's either going to come around or they're not. If you need to walk away, you know you need to walk away. For some people, both things are going to happen, right? Because sometimes when you walk away, it shocks the other person into dealing with their own shit, right? But the whole point is you have to be willing to walk away regardless. Not just with the caveat that it means they're going to return, right? You have to be willing to really go, to keep walking, I guess you could say. Isn't this kind of reminds me of like a Viking ship, doesn't it? I'm feeling like this energy for somebody. There are two people in a connection here, two specific people who might watch this, and you were actually, there's like a Viking like lifetime that you had together. Yeah. And they were very cold in this lifetime too. I feel like the masculine of this energy as they were like a captain or a Viking king, like they were somebody very, it's like I'm seeing all these swords here as almost like, you know how today we would decorate like our war veterans? They would get like the purple hearts and they would get all the medals, almost like what these swords are to them. Or they could be nations that they conquered, like dangerous, treacherous voyages that they led people through and back home again. And I feel like somebody in this connection was the feminine who was waiting. They would go away for long periods of time at sea, at battle. And the feminine would be holding the energy down at home. And I feel like this person died. They died in battle, ultimately, which is, of course, like in the Viking tradition, right? That is like the greatest honor, right? To die in battle, to die a warrior, right? And to go on to Valhalla. And that's where your fear of abandonment comes from. Is because they left you. It was like they always returned home. Every time this person set out, he told you he would be back, and he was. He came back. It was like he gave you something too. I'm feeling like a keepsake, something that he gave you to hold on to every time he would leave. He either brought something back for you every time, or he gave you something of his to hold on to. Yeah, that's what it feels like more. He gave you something of his to hold on to while he was gone. And you gave it back to him every time he returned. It was like he came back to claim it, but really to claim you. And then this last time he never came home. And it could have been, we see the 6 here, right? Could have been that 7th time that he left. He never returned. And you would still have, of course, because he never was able to come back and claim it. You would still have whatever he gave you, and you would have an affinity for this thing in this lifetime, whatever this was. You might have even had somebody give you this thing. Like if you meet this person again in this lifetime, they might actually give you something like this again. That's really interesting. You have the 9 of Cups on the bottom of the deck and the Sun that came out. So there's beautiful healing here. All right. There's joy, there's celebration. So somebody is healing this energy, this energy of abandonment, this energy of loss, and the fears of connecting, the fears of opening up, the fears of loving. And there's just like beautiful energy coming forward as a result of that. Like a lot of really happy times ahead. Ending any cycles that need to end, really stepping into a deeper level of self-love, right? And therefore a deeper level of sovereignty, making the choices that are the most loving and honoring of self. Yeah. Got the 7 of Wands with the 8 of Swords here. Interesting. And the 8 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I feel like this week as well for my pile number 3s, there's going to be lots of opportunities to step into your power, to stand up for yourself. It's like you're going to see where this energy, it's like, where am I creating this energy for myself? You may get triggered a lot this week, I'm feeling, for some of my pile number 3s. And so it's really like an understanding of like, where is it that I'm actually being attacked? And where is it that I'm just already instantly on the defensive or the offensive? It's like being able to tell the difference and act accordingly. Being able to stand up for ourselves where it's necessary. And being able to walk away from the situations where people are treating us. It's like we're no longer allowing ourselves to be treated unfairly. We're seeing where we are allowing this still and why. And we're moving out of that energy. There's a powerful cycle that is ending here. Very painful cycle. This is like us really seeing where it is that we are creating our own pain through the situations that we allow, and no longer allowing those anymore. All right, this is beautiful energy. Congratulations, pile 3. You guys are killing it. Everyone, we're all doing, this is a big, big week. Lots of work. I want to close with some angel answers. And I feel like these, obviously, pile number 3s are going to receive a message from this. Clear. Everybody else probably isn't watching, but I feel like this is a closing energy for everybody on the live, too. Like the angels just want to throw out like a final closing message. And I looked up, it was 144. 144.04, as I was saying, 144 on the time, you guys. So definitely a powerful message here for my beautiful chosen ones. Closing angelic message. What do the angels want us to know? Isis as well. I have my Isis statue here facing me while I do these readings, and she like popped up. She's like, me too. So message from the angels, from Isis, all your beautiful ascended masters, or those powerful archetypes that watch over you. Choose a new direction, let go. All right. Closing message. Some of us, it's like this is the energy of stop beating a dead horse. It's time to move on. This is like them reiterating, we need to release that which isn't working. If there's no headway being made in a certain area and it literally feels like you're just beating your head against a brick wall, this is for, okay, so the angels are saying this is for Remember when we said that there are people who've been praying and they haven't been receiving any responses to their prayers. They feel like nothing's shifting, nothing's changing. Or people have been praying for answers or guidance. This is your angels coming through with that guidance for you guys. They're saying, choose a new direction, do something different. If you want something different, do something different. The thing you've been praying for, the thing you've been working so hard towards, if nothing is coming through, nothing is shifting, if you literally, like I said, feel like you've been beating your head against a brick wall, it's because that path is not meant for you. Let go. Stop trying to control the situation too, is what they keep saying. That's part of why nothing's developing as well, because you're too deep in your control, too deep in your masculine. You need to fall into your feminine. There are helpful people being sent to you. For some of you guys, these helpful people are already in your reality. You just haven't recognized them. So look around. Look around at who you have. Look around at the opportunities and the resources that you have at your disposal. And what they're saying is the direction that you're meant to go in, there's going to be opportunities present for you. There are going to be people offering to help you. If you're not seeing those opportunities, if those helpful people are not presenting themselves in the next few weeks, then that's not the path for you. Then choose a new direction. And if you don't know what that new direction is yet, if it seems like there's no opportunities anywhere, wait, it's coming. Pray, meditate, balance yourself, rebalance your energy. Visualize. Think about what you really want. Spirit's saying, some of you guys, you're so set on an outcome because it was what you thought you wanted at one point, but it might not be. Remember, our values are shifting and changing. It might not be what you really want anymore. And even if it is what you want, it might not be what you really need. So really get clear with yourself. Remember, we use the analogy of money for one of the piles, right? People think they want money. It's not really the money they want. It's what the money represents to them, right? What does money mean to you? To me, it represents freedom. That's what I really want. I want freedom. I don't want money. I don't care about money. I care about what money buys me, which is options, opportunities, the freedom to do what I want and live the life that I want to live without worrying, without being beholden to anyone or anything. Okay. That's what I really want. What do you really want? And what's really going to get you that? Okay. And then you have to believe in yourself, believe in the outcome, or believe in your ability to receive, and ask your angels again. Okay, I think that's it. I think that was just the message that wanted to come out. Somebody needs to choose a new direction. Got forgiveness as well. And someone's really gotta remain positive too. And the timing, clear. Everything, when it's meant to be, you'll know the timing. It says within the next few months. Okay? You'll know when this timing comes because things will start coming into alignment. Clear. If they're not coming into alignment, that means it's just not the right time or it's just not meant to be. Clear. And some people, it's like as soon as you can accept that is when the energy starts flowing. All right. I love you all. I honor you. I respect you. You are so incredible. You are so beautiful. I hope you have an amazing week and we will touch base again soon. Mwah. All right. Bye, everyone.